How's it going? Today we are covering my Oras tour for 2026. So, of course, last time I won the Oras tour of 2025 for Smogon. And yeah, we entered the tournament again. And today I'm going to be showcasing my run, at least when it comes to a couple games in the later portion of the tournament. So top 16 and onwards. From the title, I won this thing. So I thought it would be cool to show my different, my different games, what led to my tournament success, talk about my draft, talk about the team building process, just because I know a lot of people maybe aren't as familiar with Oras these days since it's such an old gen. And I think from having the experience of winning the last tour and then just playing the tier a lot in the latest team tours, I think I'd be a pretty decent person to speak on it. So yeah, I'm just gonna go right into my draft and my different games that I had. So yeah, this Oras tour I got the chance to get Lando T. I am a person who thinks that Lando T is probably the second best mon in Oras. I don't know, it and Chomp are a little bit tied for me, but I do really like Lando T just because I feel like it has so many options this gen, and it's one of the premier ground types. And when you don't have Coco or Zera to worry about, where the top tier electrics that are carrying HP Ice, I think Lando T really excels. So yeah, I was really happy with Lando T as my initial draft pick. And to pair with it, I ended up getting Infernape. So I'm a big fan of Infernape. I'm a proponent of the fact that Infernape to me should be more than 15 points. I think it was 15 points in this tournament here. And I think Infernape is really good. I've used it so many times in Oras, and I think it's a good pairing with Lando T just because the things Lando T really struggles with is Weavile. Like, Weavile is like one of the scariest threats to Lando T. So having Infernape, which checks Weavile very well, and then both having U-turn, making like a U-turn spam core, I think just pairs really nicely. So next up, I got the mascot, my favorite mon, Karen Black. I'm a huge Karen Black guy. Of course, I won last Oras tour with Karen Black, so I was like, yeah, I want this mon again. It's my favorite mon to use in all of draft, so I ended up getting Karen Black this time. I thought it paired nicely with the top two because both Infernape and Lando T struggle with bulky water types. And so Karen Black is like that breaker that really takes advantage of the U-turns from both Lando T and Infernape. So I really like Karen Black here. And yeah, like I said, you might as well get mons that you enjoy using. And for me, Karen Black is my favorite mon to use. So getting that again this tournament was cool. Next up, I drafted Starmie. So Starmie is like one of those mons where I needed a good spinner, something that can come to most games. And I was looking at Blastoise, I was looking at Starmie. I set it on Starmie just because of the speed tier. And also, I feel like with Starmie, I always want to draft Starmie in Oras, but it always ends up getting taken from me before I can do so. So I really like Starmie on this build right here. Just give me that premier spinner so that Karen Black can excel. And following like these first four picks, one of the mons I really wanted to get was Mega Arrow. So I really wanted to get Mega Arrow for this draft because I feel like with the top two, they really struggle with like Latios, right? Like Latios is a big problem for these top four. And I think just in general, you always want a good pursuit trapper with Infernape and Lando T, really, just to take advantage of their U-turn. So I really wanted Mega Arrow also for the better speed tier, but it ended up getting sniped for me, right, by a dude who got mono flying for his draft. So basically the Mega Arrow went to waste and I wasn't able to get it. So because of that, I kind of had to compensate later on in the draft because I really was trying to build this team around Mega Arrow getting taken. So I ended up planning on getting Mega Aggron, right, because I was looking towards my options at the later end of the draft, and I was kind of considering Bronzong just to get that guard check. But I noticed I could get more crucial types and role fillers by spending higher points on them, and I could maybe squeeze by getting a lesser steel type. And I thought, I didn't have a mega replacement initially for Mega Arrow, so I was like, all right, let me just try Mega Aggron, because I think Mega Aggron is one of those mods that doesn't really get enough attention in Oras, and I thought it fit pretty nicely on my team. But of course, with Mega Aggron, you need to get a good Wish Passer. So for me, I consider good Wish Passers being like Sylveon, Clef, probably Florges, and then maybe like Vaporeon and Aloe. But due to me already having water type, I wanted possibly a fairy type option, so I ended up going with Sylveon. I thought Sylveon plus Aggron just made a nice, really defensive core. Sylveon being able to pass Wishes and Heal Bell, Mega Aggron if it wanted to run Rest. And so yeah, I'm kind of talking about the two in tandem just because I think they really synergize well together. And then lastly, right, we ended up getting Drapion and Gourgeist. So I really wanted a Dark type and a Pursuit Trapper, and one of the best ones to do it that is cheap is Drapion, which honestly I'm not a huge fan of Drapion. It really is just, like I said, the role filler. I needed a Ground and Poison, I needed a good Pursuit Trapper, so Drapion was kind of the mono choice. And then looking at my team, I was pretty weak to the fighting megas, things like Mega Medi, things like Mega Gallade, Mega Lop, things like that, where if they can get through Sylveon is kind of an issue. So I ended up going with Gourgeist. I also really wanted another ground check, so Gourgeist filled that role as well. Also filled the role of being a spin blocker, so I can keep up my rocks with this team and potentially T-Spikes. But yeah, I really wanted Gourgeist mainly for the fighting megas, just because Gourgeist is like a sneakily good answer to them, especially Gallade, being able to handle them with like Foul Play and Shadow Sneak and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much the team. And yeah, I wanted this video to be a little bit shorter than the last one, so I'm really just going to cover my top 16 games. Of course there's many other games I played before that, but I feel like top 16 kind of encompasses like when people really start to try hard in the tournament. Like once you get to like top 32, top 16, people really start to try. So top 16 seemed like a good starting place. So the first game I'm going to cover is versus Sin of Wrath, and I'm just gonna we're kind of doing this a little not super fancy, but we're just gonna go over his draft real quick. He ended up having like a Mega Gallade, Mega Gallade, Torn, T, Crook, Clef, Blastoise, Crest, like a fatter, bulky team. With like the Crest, like you don't really see Crest that often. But yeah, just kind of like a fatter team, a little bit standard, but nothing wrong with that. Getting Mega Gallade and Torn together is I think like really rare. I was like, wow, I was not expecting that combo to face in the tournament. But yeah, kind of like a standardish build, like Torn T, Gallade, Crook, all things that we've seen before in Oras. Just nowadays with the I don't know, with how much people place like prioritization on different mods, like you don't really see the three together. So but anyways, with this team in mind, like I'm just gonna go into the draft, honestly. To the team I brought. Let's just look at the team I brought, because this matchup I thought was okay. One thing I noticed with my team throughout this tournament was that Torn T was like a huge threat. Like, one thing I'll never do again is not draft an electric type or a suitable Torn check in Oras, because I ended up facing, I want to say like 4 or 5 Torns, probably 4, and like yeah, Torn was a huge threat. And my options for dealing with Torn on this draft are really like Sylveon and like AV users and maybe Spadef Aggron, but Torn is pretty strong, especially with Life Orb in this gen, and it's faster than my entire team. So like Life Orb Torn with like Heat Wave and Focus Blast can definitely get through Spadef Aggron. So I kind of had to be a little bit creative with what I brought. So Starting off, I have Choice Scarf Infernape. This Choice Scarf Infernape was meant to have a Revenger for things like Gallade, Torn. His fire resist is literally just a Blastoise, right? So, you have Dragalge too, but I really didn't expect Dragalge to come. Like, I don't really know what that mon is checking on my team outside of Infernape, which he has a Blastoise and Torn for, and Crest. So yeah, his only real good fire check is Blastoise. So, being able to do Choice Scarf Infernape, if I eliminate Blastoise, I can sweep with Choice Scarf Flare Blitz. I thought was really nice. Next we have Starmie, Cobra Berry. This was meant so that I don't get trapped by Crook with Pursuit. He doesn't really have a way to pop my Cobra Berry outside of that. And I really wanted this just as a mon that could remove the Klefki Spikes. Klefki Spikes could definitely be detrimental to my defensive core, so having Starmie to remove spikes is important. Another thing too is this mon can be used to swap into Gallade if needed. I didn't expect for him to run any sort of like Leaf Blade or T-Punch coverage, so having Colbur allows me to swap into like Knockoff and everything like that. T-Wave to slow it down so that now my Current Black can end up revenge killing it. And yeah, I thought like these 4 moves just kind of covered everything. So next we have Mega Aggron, Spadef. This is my check to like Dragalge, Torn, what else, like Crest, like, and with Heavy Slam Detail, I kind of like hit the entire team pretty well. He has a fairy, but it's Klefki, so Heavy Slam like hits that for a lot of damage. Dragon Tail to stop Coal Mine Crest from sweeping me, and then like Toxic to like kind of get that status on Crest and Blastoise, and then this is my rocker as well. Next we have Life Orb, Current Black. This is the breaker of the team. I have Dragon Claw, Fusion Bolt, Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw, he really has no good ghost resist on his team outside of Crook, and yeah, Crook does not want to swap into Current Black. And I wanted a way for Current Black to get through Crest because I figured Crest would probably be his initial response to Current Black. So yeah, we have Shadow Claw, just because like Life Orb, Adamant Shadow Claw is like a roll to 2-hit KO Crest. So I really like that. And then of course he also doesn't have a good swap into Fusion Bolt too. Like Fusion Bolt plus Shadow Claw, both those types are really dependent on Crook to answer, and Crook just doesn't come in on Current Black. So I liked Current Black as the breaker here. Hard for him to revenge outside of Gallade. Next we have AV Lando. Now this is supposed to be the Torn check. You'll see later on that I end up running a lot of AV Lando for Torns, and that's mainly because, right, in my mindset, when a Torn is facing a Mega Aggron and a Sylveon, if they're a Life Orb offensive set, they're gonna opt to run things like Heat Wave, maybe like Sludge Bomb, maybe Iron Tail, things like that, and they're gonna predict those mons to come in. So most likely they're gonna be clicking Heat Wave, expecting like Aggron to come in. So that's where AV Lando comes into play, because I don't expect for the Torn to have Icy Wind versus my team. It just only hits Lando, and Hurricane is already strong enough click as is. So, and with that also too, most of the time I feel like they're going to be trying to predict one of the Aggron and Sylveon. So I think Lando T excels as a Torn check for my draft specifically. So we have Earthquake, Knockoff, U-Turn, Stone Edge. This is mainly just to answer Torn T. And yeah, like other than Crest, he doesn't have a great switch in. I can get Knockoff on Blastoise, get rid of his left P, same with Crest. And yeah, like Stone Edge to hit Torn, basically like self-explanatory, but yeah. And then we have Kebia, Fizdef, Sylveon. This is mainly my Gallade check. I eat every hit, +2 hit from Gallade, Zen. And yeah, Kebia allows me to live the Poison Jab if he has it. And then yeah, Heal Bell is just meant to keep my Aggron healthy, and like if anything were to get parried by Klefki or like burned by Blastoise Scald, that's what Sylveon with Heal Bell is meant for. So yeah, let's get into the game. All right, so let me swap sides. Yeah, so he ended up bringing X-Cloud. I didn't think that Dragalge would come, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect for X-Cloud to come. I kind of ignored that mon in the builder, and me ignoring that mon in the builder definitely plays a role into how this end game ends up going. Like I thought for sure he would bring Crook, right? You know, to try and like pursuit trap stuff, especially Starmie. But yeah, me ignoring X-Cloud ends up becoming a real issue. So let's just look at this game real quick. He leads off with Torn while I lead off with Kieran Black. Kieran Black is just a good lead, right? Like I outspeed Gallade before it megas, so because of that, Gallade can't stay in unless it's protect. So yeah, Kieran Black just like destroys everything. So he leads off with Torn. I'm like, all right, this is a free fusion bolt because he has no ground type, right? No switching to fusion bolt. So I end up getting a crit. This shows to be like, I think like maybe mixed defensive press. But yeah, I end up getting crit with fusion bolt, which is unfortunate for him. I click Shadow Claw, knowing it's not gonna kill, but I just want to keep this mon low, just because it's kind of an annoying mon for Choice Scarf and Fernape. I swap out, go out to Aggron. I use this opportunity to get up my rocks. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I go for a Toxic, right? I mean, yeah, either one. I would have gone for a Toxic had I gone for Stealth Rocks first anyway. So yeah, he ends up revealing to be Refresh though. Refresh Blastoise, which I'm like, that's pretty cool. You don't really see that too often, but I mean, it's good because that mon kind of walls my Aggron set. So yeah, I mean, good play on his part. He reveals Speed Whirlpool, trying to trap my Starmie, and I'm like, okay, like, I don't know if I guess maybe this is for Sylveon perhaps, but yeah, like Whirlpool is a little bit interesting, especially because Starmie has Spin. Like, so Spin makes it so that Starmie is no longer trapped, right? So it's just like, I don't know if that's really the best way to run into Starmie, but hey. He breaks my Cobra Berry with Dark Pulse. I'm just trying to like stall out the turns. You know, I can get a pair on him and like, you know, stall out the Whirlpool. But yeah, I end up going to Kieran Black on the next Whirlpool. He misses, and yeah, this is another free opportunity to click Fusion Bolt. And yeah, this is going to claim a kill. He has no swap into Fusion Bolt plus Shadow Claw, so yeah, I end up killing him. Next up, he goes up to Torn. I'm like, all right, this must be offensive. He's probably gonna click like Focus Blast, and yeah, he clicks Focus Blast. He misses, but I mean, it's not like that really matters. I was AV Lando, but yeah, he reveals to be, I'm pretty sure, HP Ice, which I was shocked honestly to see that he was HP Ice. Like I said, I didn't think that that would be a coverage move you would run in this match, but yeah, he reveals to be HP Ice. I go for the knockoff, get rid of his E belt, which is nice because now my Lando T, I'm pretty sure if I wish it back up, it may be a roll to 3 kill, but either way, like getting rid of the boosting item is really important. I stay in as he goes for a U-turn, go for a Stone Edge, get a crit on the Stoys. Kind of important, but is what it is. Yeah, I click knockoff to get rid of his lefties so that I can better 1v1 with my other mons. And yeah, I click Stone Edge again, get it onto the Gallade, and then I'm just gonna go out to my Sylveon because it's my dedicated check. Ice Punch does like nothing, and this is where I'm like, okay, I see the X-Cloud come in, and I'm like, okay, like sure, whatever. You know, X-Cloud generally in Oras only does like 2 things: Silk Scarf, Specs. I guess 3 things: Silk Scarf, Specs, or like Choice Scarf. Those are like the only X-Cloud sets that ever get ran, and usually it's like, you know, like Scrappy or whatever. So you're like, I have a Ghost type, I have a Gorgeist, so Scrappy makes sense to me. But I click Wish, and yeah, I go out to my Aggron. I'm like, all right, substitute. If he's sub, that must mean that he's like, I don't know, work up, maybe like a sub toxic set, something like that. But I go to Aggron because I'm Spadef, and I know I handle anything that comes out. And you just be leftovers. He clicks Flamethrower, and unfortunately he gets a burn on me, so I guess it kind of makes up for the Crest crit. But yeah, the burn was really important because I was pretty nervous I wasn't gonna break with Heavy Slam, and also just the chip from Flamethrower means that he can stay in and kind of 1v1 my Aggron. So yeah, just like really important that he got the burn like straight away. He decides to swap out as I go for rocks, and yeah, he can use the opportunity to click spin with Stoys, but This does give me another kill with Kieran Black because yeah, he has no swap in. So I get to click Fusion Bolt for free. They go into Clef Key. Clef Key takes like 1,000,000%, and yeah, this is just a free kill for me. I can just click Fusion Bolt again, claim a kill. He gets up a spike, which I mean doesn't really matter. I can spin it later with Starmie, which I do go out to Starmie right now. Use the opportunity, and he ends up critting me with his Gallade, which is pretty unfortunate. Just because I could have, stayed in, click recover, and then like click rapid spin, and still probably came out the exchange alive. But now I'm like, all right, I have to click rapid spin to get rid of the spike, which I do so. Oh no, I click T wave just because my mindset was if I click T wave, pair the Gallade, it makes it easier for Kieran Black to sweep in the end game. But yeah. I think I use the opportunity now to click spin. Yeah, I do. I click spin, and now I'm just gonna sack off my Starmie because I don't really have a swap into the Torn. Goes back out to Gallade. I go out to my Sylveon, and then yeah, I click Hyper Voice, and he reveals to be soundproof, and I'm like, bro, this Exploud walls my Sylveon because I decided to run Hyper Voice instead of Moonblast, which I definitely should have ran Moonblast had I taken into account that he could have brought soundproof Exploud. I just completely ignored Exploud in the builder, and yeah, this means that my Sylveon is walled. So I'm basically just trying to get it so where I can wish up my Aggron because I do have the heal bell to get rid of the burn. But yeah, he reveals to be work up, which makes it a little bit more difficult. And here, like this turn was a 50-50, right? When he clicks work up right here and I click wish, either he's going to click flamethrower expecting my Aggron to come in, to where I can wish it back up, and +1 flamethrower kills. So if he gets that play right, he kills my Aggron, and now I'm in a really dangerous spot where he's behind the sub at +1. But if I go out to my Lando, my AV Lando on the flamethrower, I can get my Lando back healthy and not die to the follow-up boom burst. The only issue is if he clicks boom burst on my Lando swap in, I'm gonna die. So it really was a 50-50. I end up getting it right by going Lando on the flamethrower, and now I get back my health with my AV Lando, which is really nice. I think I proceed to click U-turn, I outspeed. I go out to my Aggron, basically just sacking it off. But yeah, I like, as long as I click heavy slam here, I'm good. So Aggron goes down. I now can force this out with Infernape. Now, in hindsight, right, I really should have gone Kieran Black. I should have gone Kieran Black and clicked Life Orb Dragon Claw. The reason being is that Life Orb Dragon Claw would have just gotten me a kill. But with me going out to Infernape, I'm basically forced to click close combat here because I can't risk him staying in and losing my Infernape. Then I'm like definitely gonna lose to these mons in the back. So I should have gone up to Kieran Black and just clicked Life Orb Dragon Claw, but I click close combat. He goes out to Torn, and yeah, here I'm expecting him to just go out to U-turn and get back in with Exploud. So now it's like, yeah, my Sylveon is walled, so I'm gonna have to play in a way where I use my Lando as the answer to this until I can kill with my offense. So it goes for sub. I click wish. It's just the safest play. I can go right on to my AV Lando, who checks for the most part. He clicks work up, which is okay. I think I click EQ, just break the sub. Boom burst does over half, which is a lot. I click earthquake to get as much damage as possible. I didn't think he would go to Torn here, especially because if he went Torn, he didn't even kill with HP ice. So yeah, I get off the huge earthquake chip, which is nice. But the main goal, right, is to eliminate this. If I eliminate the Exploud, my Sylveon looks so good, right? Because he can't break it. Gallade is walled. He can't do anything with the Whirlpool, Blastoise, and then Torn, as of right now, doesn't really have a good move to hit Sylveon. So yeah, if I can eliminate this Exploud, I'm in a really good spot. So I go to my Infernape, and here, yeah, I make the misplay of not going out to Kieran Black, because had I gone Kieran Black, I again would have just claimed to kill. So this was some mistakes on my part. Like, Kieran Black forced the kill, which would have been great for me, but Infernape doesn't, and he ends up getting the play right by going into Stoys. And now I'm in a position where I can go Kieran Black, live whatever hit, But he doubles out into Torn, which is really good on his part. And I go out to Sylveon on the Focus Blast. And then here I go out into Infernape, right? Because I could stay in with Sylveon and click Wish, I guess. But if he clicks U-turn on my Sylveon Wish and then goes out to X-Cloud, even if I click Wish, none of these mons live a Boom Burst in this range. So I'm basically in a position where I have to go out into Infernape predicting a U-turn, because if I just stay in with Sylveon, I can't Hyper Voice, and my only thing I can do is Wish. But yeah, I would just die. So I make the aggressive play, go out to Infernape on the U-turn. As he goes out into Stoys, and here I can guarantee get out into my Kieran Black with a U-turn of my own. Go to Kieran Black, and now I'm basically in a spot where I can click Roost, get my health back. And here I didn't want to be too greedy. I thought maybe he could make the play where he goes hard out into Gallade, expecting me to Roost again. So I end up just clicking Fusion Bolt, predicting Gallade to come in, but he ends up sacking his Stoys. So, but yeah, goes out to Gallade, forces me out, clicks Knockoff on the Sylveon. And here I'm expecting him to go out into X-Cloud. But I end up clicking Hyper Voice because I didn't really have a choice. I didn't have a swap into Gallade. And yeah, I make that same play again, where I go out to Infernape on the Torn, expecting him to U-turn out into X-Cloud because, yeah, he walls me. So I get that play right again. He goes out to Gallade. I kill him with Adamant Flare Blitz, which I'm pretty sure he was just in range of Adamant Flare Blitz. So... and then here I go back out into Sylveon. He reveals to be Sludge Bomb. What is it? Do I click Wish? Yeah, I think I click Wish here. And yeah, I'm in a spot now where as long as I sack my Kieran Black and then get a kill with Flare Blitz, I'm going to be in a spot where I can click Flare Blitz versus the Torn, and then either he gives me Torn with the Flare Blitz kill, or he gives me X-Cloud and I kill X-Cloud with the Flare Blitz, don't kill Torn with the Flare Blitz, but then Sylveon now is no longer walled and I can kill Torn because Sludge Bomb doesn't kill Sylveon in this range. So I just sack off my Kieran Black to the Boom Burst. It dies. I go out to Flare Blitz, and then I get the opportunity to click Flare Blitz again. Infernape dies, and then Sylveon just barely lives the Sludge Bomb and I kill him with Hyper Voice. So a really, really close game. You see my Sylveon lived on 4%. Such a close game. Yeah, this was definitely a game that would have been so much easier had I just ran Moonblast, right? Like, had I had Moonblast and accounted for Soundproof X-Cloud, this game definitely wouldn't have been as hard. But it is what it is, right? Like, that's what I get for ignoring the low tiers. So yeah. Anyways, next up we're playing OG Albina. So, oh yeah, let me move that. Okay, so yeah, next up we're playing OG Albina. He's not really known for playing Oras like that, so I was kind of shocked to see him this far in the tournament. But his team that he's using is actually a DWL team. So yeah, his team Flex Appeal, they drafted this Oras team. I guess he just replicated it. So yeah, I was kind of familiar with seeing this draft, and I was like, oh, okay, this is the same one. But he has Weavile and Lando I, which are two big threats towards my team, and then like a whole bunch of fat stuff like on his team. So Lando I is really scary just because my ground checks are Lando T, which Lando I can just HP Ice and outspeed HP Ice. And then Gorgeist, who kind of takes on Lando I well, but it's definitely dicey, and he can definitely Pursuit Trap me or just throw me out with Weavile too if he clicks U-turn. So scary combo right there. So yeah, let's just look at the team that I brought. So starting off, we have Choppleberry, Kieran Black. We have Choppleberry, Kieran Black. This is mainly for what is it? One of my checks for Lando I, right? Because something I was really scared of was Rock Polish Lando I with Focus Blast, HP Ice, and Earth Power, Life Orb. So Chapel Berry allows me to live the Focus Blast if he is that set. It's also just kind of hard for him to revenge without Diancie too. I'm just fully special Ice Beam, Earth Power, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast because I need Focus Blast for the Registeel. I need Shadow Ball for the Starmie. And then Earth Power kind of hits both Diancie plus Eel plus Registeel if I don't want to miss. And then Focus Blast also lets me OHKO Weavile. And the Ice Beam just as a general click. It's just a breaker here, honestly. Next up, we have Yache Berry Lando T. This is my dedicated lead for this match, just because I felt like it matched up well into everything that he may lead, most likely being Diancie or a Lando of his own or Registeel. So yeah, I have Yache Berry Lando, very Spadef. I think it maybe lived 2 HP Ices from non-Life Orb Lando I have Iron Tail because I was thinking he could maybe do something where he leads Mega Diancie, clicks Protect, and then clicks Magnet Rise to make it so that I can't kill him with Lando and he forces me out. So I wanted to have Iron Tail. Plus Iron Tail is nice for Weavile. In the case of him leading Weavile, if he led Weavile, I not only get the Intimidate, but I also have Yache Berry allowing me to live any sort of hit he goes for, and then I can kill him back with Iron Tail. So that's why I liked it. Iron Tail also OHKO'd regular Diancie too if he stayed in to click, if he stayed in regular form to click Rocks and then clicked Endeavor. Iron Tail would allow me to OHKO regular Diancie if he went for that play. So that's why I have Iron Tail. Knockoff for his own Lando, and then EQ Rocks, self-explanatory. Next I have Gourgeist. Gourgeist was really here as a check to Lando I should my Lando T die. I have Seed Bomb, Will-O-Wisp, Protect, Synth. Protect was mainly so that I could always avoid 2-hit KOs from Mega Diancie, but also Protect allowed me to scout what Weavile locked into if he was banned and he wanted to click Banded Pursuit. So that was the main reasoning for Protect. Plus Seed Bomb plus Willow kind of hits everything on his team really well. He doesn't appreciate swapping into Gourgeist, and I didn't think that Amoonguss would come here. Next I have Life Orb, Flame Charge, Infernape. This is supposed to be one of the win cons here. As you can see from his team, he's really weak to Flame Charge in general. Like Flame Charge kills Amoonguss, kills Registeel. I can threaten the Flame Charge KO on Weavile. So if I get a Flame Charge and he doesn't have a mon that's faster, like Choice Scarf Weavile, Choice Scarf Starmie, it can just sweep. Like Life Orb Flare Blitz or Life Orb Close Combat does all the damage I need versus most mons. So that's the idea behind that. Thunder Punch for the Starmie. Next I have the other win con, which is Rock Polish Mega Aggron. This is supposed to function as kind of like both a breaker but also a win con if needed. It definitely required a lot of chip. Like Eel could kind of tank hits pretty well, and I didn't OHKO Lando I, but if I were to get chip on Lando I, if I were to get chip on Hariyama and Eel through other things, like this mon could put in a lot of work. I felt like Rock Polish was an unexpected win con, and I always like to have about 2 win cons in a game, so I didn't want to rely on just Infernape. So, and then lastly we have Choice Scarf Starmie. This is an interesting set right here. This set was mainly so that one, I had a mon that could revenge kill SD Weavile since my Infernape wasn't Scarf. So Starmie, resisting +2 Ice Shard allows it to do that. But the main thing I was worried about was his Starmie running a Cosmic Power set. If he was like Cosmic Power Weakness Policy to like take advantage of U-turns from Lando and Infernape, and then like Cosmic Power to 1v1 everything, it would be so scary. Like I honestly had no way to break it. I was really considering running Choice Scarf Punishment Lando T just for it, but it just didn't do enough, and Choice Scarf Lando just didn't look good in general. So this is what I came up with. Hydro Pump, Trick, Toxic Recover. The idea is that if he was to be that Cosmic Power weakness policy set, I could trick him to Choice Scarf, lock him into a move. And then once I get rid of my Choice Scarf, Hydro Pump plus Toxic plus Recover kind of 1v1s everything. Hydro Pump was so that I could Oko, I think, Mega Diancie if needed, because Surf didn't do that. And then Hydro Pump also lets me get more damage on Weavile too. So that's the team. Let's take a look at the game. So yeah, like I said, Lando T is the dedicated lead. So he leads off with Diancie versus my Lando T, which is a good lead for me. I just go for the Iron Tail in the case of he stays in regular Diancie form to click rocks. He ends up clicking Protect, and I figured he would probably swap, but I kind of had no reason not to just click, I think, Iron Tail again. Oh no, I click Earthquake, but he ends up going out to Eel, which is fine. Like, I'm Spadef, I'm Yachi, so only thing Eel can hit me with is knockoff or HP Ice. So I just go for the knockoff to trying to get that chip for my Mega Aggron, get rid of his Rocky Helmet. He goes out to Weavile, and I just go out to Aggron here. He reveals to be Choice Banded, and I'm like, okay, there's definitely a threat, but not like we didn't expect Choice Banded Weavile. But here I'm going to use this opportunity to just go for the Rock Polish, I think. I go for the low kick. Go for the low kick just in case he decided to stay in or got to Registeel. But yeah, go for the low kick. And here I'm like, okay, I'm not going to have another opportunity really to click Rock Polish here. So I'm just going to use this Aggron to break and see what his sets are. So I go for the Rock Polish, expecting him to U-turn, which he does click U-turn. And he goes out to Star Me here. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to get out my T-Punch chip. But he reveals to be Scarf, Choice Scarf Star Me, and misses the Hydro Pump, which is really big because I think Hydro Pump maybe was a roll, but definitely a roll in his favor to kill me. And yeah, here I end up getting really big chip with T-Punch, so definitely worked out for me. He ends up killing me with Hydro Pump. But now I use this opportunity to go to my Breaker Kieran Black. I click Earth Power, does nothing to Spadef Lefty's Registeel. So I'm just going to spam Earth Power knowing he's going to click rocks. And then here the hope is that I end up killing with Focus Blast, but I end up missing, so unfortunate. I take like nothing from Iron Head, which is crazy. But yeah, I click Focus Blast again. And then yeah, I'm mainly just 1v1ing this Registeel. It's gonna make it so that at least Choice Scarf Star Me looks a little bit better. Maybe my Gorgeist looks a little better. But he goes up to Diancie. This Gorgeist handles Diancie pretty well. As you can see, it doesn't 2-kill me even with rocks up. Not even Diamond Storm does. So lefties protect Gorgeist, gonna get the job done. Here, honestly, I probably should have clicked Seed Bomb over clicking Synth, but I guess I wanted this healthy for Lando. But yeah, I should click Seed Bomb, honestly. But yeah, I click Synth. Goes at the Weavile. I click Protect to scout to see what he locks into. And then I end up just sacking Kieran Black because I had no other answer at the time being, with Aggron being dead. And here I go at the Lando because I know that Banded Knockoff is not going to threaten the KO on me, and I want to use this opportunity to get up my rocks, because if I don't get up my rocks, I'm going to end up losing to the Starmie, to the Choice Scarf Starmie, because it outspeeds my Flame Charge Infernape. So I need to get up rocks ASAP. So I get up my rocks as he goes up to Eel, which is really good for me. I save my Lando sack by going out into Gorgeist, take nothing from HP Ice. And then this is just a free opportunity to click Seed Bomb here, because it kind of just gets a kill on whatever comes out. So I click Seed Bomb, get the crit, clicks Knockoff, gets rid of my lefties. And then I think, yeah, I click Synth here. He clicks U-turn. I probably should have just killed the Eel, but it's fine. I click Protect here, and my play is to just sack Lando, get out the Intimidate, and then use this opportunity to go out to Infernape, because with Infernape coming out, I can click Flame Charge and basically force this Starmie to come in and take Rocks chips, to where he only has one more Rocks. Well, he wouldn't be able to come in on Rocks again. He only has one opportunity to come in on Rocks, and by me doing this, sacking Lando, going out to Infernape, clicking Flame Charge, it forces his Starmie to come in, so that now he has no other opportunity to come out with Starmie to revenge kill a Flame Charge Ape. So that's the idea behind that. I go out to Gorgeist. I end up just sacking it off to the side shock, and then here my play is to go out into my own Starmie. So yeah, this is a situation too where if I land every Hydro Pump with my Choice Scarf Starmie, I could win this game. And I figured, you know, at this point in time, the Weavile probably isn't going to come out again. So really, it all comes down to this Starmie, because I don't think I'm going to have the opportunity to click Flame Charge again in this game. So yeah, I just got to Starmie and basically just hope and pray I land all these Hydro Pumps. So that's one Hydro Pump click. I kill his Starmie. At this point, the Weavile is in range because of rocks. I click Hydro Pump, kill that Weavile, and then the last two, as long as I land both, Starmie is chilling and I win this game. So click Hydro Pump, Oko the Lando, and then Diancie comes out, and then I Oko that Mon too. So thank God Starmie landed all the Hydro Pumps. Otherwise, I definitely would have lost this game. And yeah, like that, I guess sort of what is it, like super overly cautious prep of worrying about Cosmic Power Starmie ended up winning me the game, because I was not intending on doing Choice Scarf Starmie otherwise. So yeah, that ended up becoming really clutch. So thank God I landed all my Hydro Pumps, and yeah, good game to Owen. Definitely got lucky with the crit, but is what it is. We take those for sure. Anyways, let's go on to, I think this is semifinals. Yeah, semifinals game versus G-Blade. So yeah, his team consists of Mega Gardevoir, Dundee, Crook, Skarm, Uxie, Hariyama, Tenna, and Electivire. So I think up until this point, I don't think I had really played a Mega Gardevoir, which is surprising because, you know, of course, Mega Guard is the best Mon in the entire format. But yeah, I hadn't really played a Mega Gardevoir, so this was going to be interesting because looking at the calcs when drafting Mega Aggron, I knew that, of course, Mega Aggron really doesn't check guard that well. Focus Blast, like Hyper Voice in the Focus Blast, I'm pretty sure is like almost a guaranteed Oko on Max Spadef Aggron. So I knew I was going to have to do a different sort of, like, have a different method of checking guard outside of just Spadef Aggron. So let's take a look at the team that we ended up bringing. First off, we have Choice Banded Infernape. The reason for this Choice Banded Infernape, right? For one, look at this guy's fire resist. It is a Tentacruel and it's a Hariyama. I didn't think Hariyama was going to come with Big Fat. I just didn't. I mean, it could, but I didn't think it was going to come. And I know just from my vast experience in Oras, Tentacruel is not a good Infernape check. It just takes too much from the different sets that it has. And most Tentacruels are going to want to run Shuka, not like Helmet or Black Sludge. So I knew the Choice Banded Infernape could get through it. And the biggest reason for having Choice Banded Infernape was because of my Lando T set. But yeah, in general, he has no fire resist. So Flare Blitz, Fire Punch, Mach Punch, U-Turn is big. Having Choice Banded Ape to revenge kill Mega Guard was important. So yeah, I really liked it for that reasoning right there. I also wanted a breaker just in general in this game. Next up, I have a really interesting Sylveon set. It's Keyberry with Hyper Voice, Snore, Calm Mind, and Rest. So the idea behind this was I was really playing around with Choice Specs Sylveon for the longest time just to load up on breakers versus this team, because this team is kind of like mine, where it's, you know, some fat plus like, you know, the pivoter plus like breaker, you know, kind of like a more like, I guess, bulky offense balance team type. So I wanted to load up on breakers, but I found myself not really using Sylveon for that role. So I kind of like the idea of having a Mon that was able to swap into Crook, because I didn't really have a good swap into Crook with my Lando being AV. So with the Sylveon, right, if he were to click Earthquake with his Crook, or even if he clicked like U-Turn from like Uxie or something like that, or he clicked like, I don't know, Close Combat with Hariyama, it could activate my Keyberry, And with the defense boost, that would then allow me to 1v1 things like Skarm, and also his Crook too. And the cool thing was I was gonna do Sleep Talk because I wanted to have rest on the set so that I could 1v1 toxic Yuxi or like toxic Skarm. But with Snore, right, Snore allows it so that even if I'm resting, I still have a boosted, pixelate boosted attacking move where I'm not relying on Sleep Talk to get the Hyper Voice roll. So I thought Snore was really cool. I'm surprised I actually haven't seen this set ever before. I've never seen somebody run Snore, Sylveon, and Oras. So I thought it was really cool. But yeah, that's like the Sylveon set, just functioning as a win con. Next we have AV Lando again, Max AV Lando. The idea behind this is I wanted a Mega Guard swap in that wasn't Sylveon, because the problem with using Sylveon for Mega Guard here is that if I were to do so, it just gives him a free opportunity to get spikes with Skarm, gives him a free opportunity to click T-Spike or do whatever with Tentacruel. And yeah, I just didn't like how much momentum it gave up, especially when it came to the hazards from Skarm. For that reason, I have this AV Lando here, which helps check Mega Guard. Hyper Voice is not it's a 3-hit KO, but it's not a 2-hit KO with Rocks Up, which is big. And I can always essentially just click the slow U-turn out. And if he were to go Skarm on the U-turn, I now have an opportunity to click Banded Flare Blitz with Impertinate. So that was sort of the sequence I was envisioning during prep. So that's what I leaned towards. Smackdown, in case I wanted to stay in versus Skarm and threaten a KO with Earthquake. And then yeah, like knockoff U-turn kind of covers both Skarm and Yuxi as well. But yeah, that's the idea behind this AV Lando. And then I brought Choice Scarf Kieran Black. I wanted a Mon that could outspeed Thundurus, of course, and also Choice Scarf Moxie Crook, both big threats. So Kieran Black looked like the best Mon to do that. Again, he didn't really have a good ice swap in like late game, especially if I were to break down the Tentacruel with Banded and Fernape. So yeah, that's the idea behind the Choice Scarf Kieran Black, kind of self-explanatory. I have Blizzard on this set just in case I needed to lock into an ice move in the end game, but Ice Beam wasn't going to be strong enough. So yeah, I have Blizzard on this set just in case I needed it. But other than that, like Shadow Claw gets me more damage on revenge killing Mega Guard. And then like, yeah, I should mainly be clicking Ice Beam here. So next I have this really interesting Mega Aggron set. Max HP, max speed with Seismic Toss, Metal Burst, Stealth Rock, Taunt. I think this was supposed to be my lead here, right? Yeah. This is supposed to be my lead. I was envisioning, like, let me just talk about this for a second. How I build in general is always by thinking of sequences from the lead, right? I try and think about what leads my opponent will have that are optimal versus my draft, you know, and I think about what would my opponent lead to best take advantage of my draft. And once I've determined what those leads may be, I then counteract those leads with whatever I'm building, right? So because of that, I was expecting, okay, he's probably going to lead maybe like Yuxi to get up rocks. It kind of matches up generally well into everything. He may lead Thundurus and just click Volt Switch, just because Thundurus really doesn't have a great swap in, and it's faster than everything. Like, it can live a hit from Starmie. So yeah, he may lead just Thundurus and click Volt Switch. He may just lead Guard and just try and fire off Hyper Voices. So yeah, my idea was that I could lead Aggron, match up well into all of those. If he were to lead Yuxi, we can exchange rocks, and then I can go ahead and start spamming Seismic Toss, because after he clicks rocks, he's not going to want to stay in with Yuxi, so he's going to go out to Skarm and probably try and click spikes or whatever. So I can start spamming Seismic Toss, and with a fast taunt set, I can basically be a stall breaker where I can break down his Skarm, which makes it way easier for this Lando to be a pivoter here and gets rid of his spikes or rocks potential from Skarm, so that Starmie doesn't have to do as much spinning. So that's the idea behind that with Seismic Toss Taunt. I have Metal Burst in the case of if he were to lead Volt Switch Thunderous, I could click Metal Burst and basically get a ton of damage off on either Thunderous if it stayed in to click like Focus Blast, or if it clicked Volt Switch, I could get a huge Metal Burst chip on things like Skarm. It also helped with lead Hariyama too, if we were to lead Hariyama. But yeah, that's mainly the idea behind the Mega Aggron. This is just supposed to be the rocker lead, but it's really good when it comes to getting chip on some of his defensive pieces. And then lastly, we have Rocky Helmet Starmie. I wanted my spinner here to make sure that it beat Skarmory and Uxie 1v1, so that's where Rocky Helmet comes in, so I can get the chip if they were to spam Brave Bird or Foul Play. And then Scald Side Shock kind of hits it hits Tentacruel, Scald as a general click versus his team because he doesn't appreciate the burn. And yeah, it's just supposed to be the defensive spinner here, so that's the idea behind the build. Let's take a look at the game. And yeah, I lead off with Aggron here. He leads off with Tentacruel, and I'm like, okay. I was expecting just some defensive Tentacruel, so I was like, all right, let me just click. I think Seismic Toss, right? Like, just get off the chip. Getting off the chip means that Infernape becomes way better. So yeah, let me just get off the chip. He reveals from the Skull damage that he's pretty offensively invested. I'm like, okay, like I didn't expect for offensive Tentacruel to be a thing here, but sure, go ahead. I just got to my Starmie because I didn't want my Aggron to be 1v1 by his Tentacruel, where I wouldn't be able to get up rocks later because rocks are pretty important. So I go to Starmie. He clicks Knockoff, which is fine. He's going to take the Rocky Helmet chip. And here I'm just going to click Recover, expecting him to swap out, but he stays and clicks T-Spike, which is interesting. Like, I feel like this play only makes sense if you were to have a Ghost type on your team to try and spin block, but he doesn't have that. So I don't really know why he clicked T-Spike in front of the Starmie, but it is what it is. I click Spin, get rid of the T-Spike. He clicks Sludge Bomb, crits me, which is on Fort. But I'm just going to click Recovery here, I'm pretty sure. He goes at the guard. I go to my dedicated check, which is the AV Lando. He clicks Hyper Voice, does 39, which is great. I click U-turn here, and now I'm essentially getting a kill with Infernape, guaranteed. This is the sequence I expected. Sure, my Lando is below half, but I'm getting a kill with Banded Flare Blitz. So I click Banded Flare Blitz, 2-hit KO the Uxie, which is great. He was like Rocky Helmet defensive, but even taking all this shit doesn't matter, because Infernape is just supposed to get 1 or 2 kills, and I'm already in Blaze range. So the next time I get out Infernape, I'm going to get a kill with Flare Blitz. So he goes out to Crook. I'm like, okay, if he goes out to Crook, he must be Scarf, and he's probably going to click Pursuit. And had he clicked Pursuit, honestly, it wouldn't have been the end of the world, but it definitely would have been harder. But yeah, he ends up, I think he goes for a knockoff, yeah. Crits me. Now, my mindset of going out to Sylveon was that should he click Pursuit on the Infernape and kill it, at least I could go Sylveon next, following Infernape dying, and get off a Calm Mind, right? Because he'd be locked into Pursuit. He'd have to swap. And what is it? I can get off a Calm Mind, 1v1 the Tentacruel, and also 1v1 the Skarmory because of the Keyberry. So that's the idea behind that. But it ends up clicking knockoff, gets rid of my Keyberry. And I think here I just click, oh no, I double out into Aggron because I figured he was probably going to go out into one of Skarm or Tentacruel. So yeah, I go out to Aggron, and here I end up revealing to be faster than his Skarm, which is really good for me. I stop his taunt. So yeah, had he clicked taunt, that would have been a fort because I wouldn't have been able to get up my rocks. But yeah, I'm faster than his Skarm. So shout out to the max speed Aggron. I then get up my rocks, and yeah, like Skarm, without other than clicking rocks, it doesn't have body press this gen, so it can't do anything to Mega Aggron. So I'm just used the opportunity to get off Seismic Toss because I don't really care about taking the Rocky Helmet chip. Weakening the Skarm and getting it low is really good for my Choice Scarf, Ice Beam, Current Black. So I clicked Seismic Toss, get the kill on Tentacruel, which is nice. Now he has no way to remove these rocks, which is great. And he goes at the Mega Guard here. I'm like, okay, he's gonna have to click Focus Blast, and he's gonna have to land it. But unfortunately for me, he does land it. But it is what it is, right? Now I get my extra kill with Infernape. I'm like, okay, I guarantee get a kill. I'm in Blaze range. I click Fire Punch here. In hindsight, I probably should have just clicked Flare Blitz, because had I, even if I got a kill with Fire Punch, he could have still just gone out to Crook, and it would have been that same 50-50 earlier with him clicking Pursuit. And I really didn't need Infernape alive here at all, so I should have just clicked Flare Blitz and just guaranteed got a kill. But instead I clicked Fire Punch to preserve, and yeah, he ends up going out to Crook, which is a good play. And yeah, I don't kill the Crook, and he ends up getting the play right of clicking Pursuit on my swap out. So unfortunate, but because I could have just gotten a guaranteed kill with Flare Blitz. So that was a play I definitely did regret. But here I used the opportunity to go out to Sylveon, click Calm Mind, and yeah, Calm Mind Hyper Voice is going to guarantee get me that kill. So I click Hyper Voice. You can't really do much with Scarm other than Brave Bird me, but I'm faster than his Scarm. That's why I ran a lot of speed investment on the Sylveon. And yeah, I end up 3-hit killing the Scarm with Hyper Voice, and he goes at the guard to revenge kill me. I just sack off the Sylveon, and here I use the opportunity to go out to Lando because I know guaranteed that I live the Hyper Voice unless he crits me. And what this does is I can click U-turn here, and U-turn makes it so that I get him in range of Choice Scarf Ice Beam from Karen Black. I could have maybe gone Karen Black and clicked Shadow Claw, but the issue with clicking Shadow Claw was if I went Karen Black, click Shadow Claw, kill the guard, he could always go out the Thunderous, and if he was to be like I don't know, like an agility set, like a sub Salic Nasty Plot set, me clicking Choice Scarf Shadow Claw and locking myself into that would give him that opportunity to set up. So I like this Lando play because I can guarantee U-turn. You know, if he swaps out into Thunderous, I then get to go out into my Karen Black, click Ice Beam, and then like kind of repeat the same sequence once he has to go guard to kill me by sacking Starmie. So yeah, I thought this guaranteed kind of got me the win here. So yeah, I click U-turn, get him in range of Karen Black. Now, I think I got like a mid-roll here with U-turn, where I think Ice Beam was like, it was a roll in my favor to kill, but it wasn't a roll that I was confident in enough. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna risk losing my win con here to like me not killing with Ice Beam. So I just got to Starmie, click Scald, just to guarantee get him in range of Ice Beam. And here I sack Lando. I didn't want to kill the Starmie. I didn't want to kill with Starmie because, again, I didn't want to give the opportunity for Thunderous to click an agility or Nasty Plot Salic or whatever, and I could give him that opportunity by staying in with Starmie and clicking Scald and killing him. So yeah, I wanted to make sure I was always out with my Karen Black to click Ice Beam. So I sack off my Lando to the Hyper Voice, and now I get to go out to my Karen Black, click Ice Beam, guaranteed get the kill, outspeed Scarf Crook, and then it's just Thunderous left, and he reveals to be that sub Salic set. So yeah, that's part of the reason why I always wanted to make sure I was out with Karen Black. He doesn't even have Focus Blast, so he wouldn't have been able to kill me had he gotten up the Nasty Plot, but you know, it is what it is. That's kind of how I played it, so that I always guaranteed won this game. So yeah, ended up winning semifinals. We are now back in finals, and yeah, second finals in a row. I kind of was going into the mindset of I was okay if I didn't win this Oras tour for the second year in a row, because realistically, right, my team that I drafted this time around, to me, what felt worse than what I drafted the first time around, and I never had the intentions of, you know, trying to win Oras tour back to back. So I was okay with losing, but at the same time, of course, I made it to finals again. So I might as well put in max amount of effort to try and win, because I've made it this far. I might as well try and win again. So for this matchup, right, let's just clear this up too, just so people can get a better visual of everything. So this matchup, right, was versus Gamer of the Year 2020. I've never heard of this guy ever, but he made finals, and he also eliminated my buddy Sean in semifinals, because I was really trying to make it to finals to play Sean, just because, you know, it would be his first tournament finals, and you know, we're of course longtime friends, so getting the chance to play him in finals would have been cool. But this guy eliminated Sean, so I was like, okay, I gotta avenge my buddy Sean. I'm pretty sure he also eliminated my buddy Bobbert, so I was like, I gotta avenge all the homies. And then also too, I was really trying to make sure I was well prepped for this game. And usually I don't do mocks, right? I don't do mocks for tournament games in general, just because I usually only say mocks for team tours, not tournaments, because I just feel like tournaments, I just kind of want to win on my own merit. But I was like, all right, this guy beat 2 people who I know of, and it's finals. I was like, I'm gonna do some mocks. So I think I ended up doing maybe like 2 mocks, and this build that I came up with is actually pretty close to the OG build that I first thought of, so that's pretty cool. And the mocks went well, so I was like, all right, bet, let's do it. But anyways, this guy, his team is Mega Guard, Torn T, Wash, Crook, Kobal, Darm, and then he has like Fortress and Venu. The hard part about this is that I'm facing both another Guard and another Torn, and like I mentioned earlier, I really don't have good swap-ins to either one of these guys. Torn is really hard for my draft. Guard is really hard for my draft. And yeah, so those were the 2 biggest threats, and having to play them in finals kind of sucked. Other than that, he had Wash, which really puts my Lando T at check, which is tough. And then like Darm was kind of a threat a little bit, just because my only fire resist truly is Starmie, so that was a little bit difficult. I played a lot of Crooks thus far, so I wasn't too worried. The cool thing, like the good thing about this matchup, is that his spinner was a Fortress, right? So I have a spin blocker in Gorgeist, and also it's a Fortress, so that's one of the ways I could kind of exploit this, is by getting up rocks early and then like making sure that he doesn't get the spin off. So that's sort of the game plan I was going for. So this is the team I brought. For finals, we have Choice Scarf, Kieran Black, max attack, max speed. This is so I have a Revenge Killer to Guard, Revenge Killer to Torn, Scarf Crook, and this one speed ties with Choice Scarf Darm. So I thought it looked really good. I wanted a one win con that could kind of just click a Choice Scarf button at ease, and I thought that if I were to eliminate Crook, Choice Scarf max attack Fusion Bolt was going to be that click that I could kind of clean up with. Also Shadow Claw 2 wasn't too bad to possibly clean up. So yeah, this is mainly just a revenger to a lot of his threats on the team. Next up, we have the primary win con, which is Infernape with Salic Berry, Endure, Flamethrower, Focus Blast, Nasty Plot. The idea is that I went back and watched Bobbert's game versus this guy, and I know Bobbert ran a Flame Charge set, and I was really considering Flame Charge too, because you know, once you get a Flame Charge, he really doesn't have good responses to Infernape's dual stab. It's really just Wash and like maybe living a hit with Torn, but he doesn't have a Mon that outspeeds +1 Infernape, and you know, with Rocks Up I can easily Oko a Torn, right? So I was like, okay, I could run the Flame Charge set, but I really was cautious of him running a Rocky Helmet on like Wash, or I don't know, like Kobal or something like that. Plus, like, Flame Charge is a little bit like unreliable. Like, you need to have a Mon that you're outspeeding and killing with Flame Charge, which only really came from like Fortress or Guard here if it was super low. So I settled on this set, a fully special set. My idea was that, okay, if I were to get up a nasty plot in this game, which I thought could very well be the case, because most likely if he ever got a kill with Choice Scarf Dharm here, Choice Scarf Dharm is going to have to stay locked into Flare Blitz. So that gives me a free setup opportunity with Nasty Plot Infernape. Additionally, too, if he ever locked into Choice Scarf, Moxie, I don't know, like Pursuit or something like that with Crook, that's another opportunity for me to click Nasty Plot. I could also get up a Nasty Plot versus Fortress, versus Venu, versus Kobao. So I thought, yeah, like I have a lot of opportunities for clicking Nasty Plot. And then most likely what would happen, right, is he's going to go out to Wash first. He goes out to Wash first with a Nasty Plot. I always OHKO max HP Wash with Focus Blast. Like, it's always an OHKO. I'm pretty sure it does like 101 mid. So it always OHKO. So I only need to land Focus Blast once in this game. So as long as I land that Focus Blast, I'm chilling. So I get rid of Wash. And then after that, I don't expect him to be Choice Scarf Torn, but he probably would go Torn. You know, thinking, okay, I can just revenge kill Infernape, right? Like, I don't have to worry about Mach Punch or Vacuum Wave, blah, blah, blah. So that's where Endure comes in. I can click Endure on Torn, live Hurricane / Air Slash, and then get my +1 speed. And now I have +1 speed, +2 special, and I'm Blaze range. So yeah, that's the idea of the sequences behind this Infernape. The win con for sure. Next we have Rocky Helmet Starmie, just defensive. This is my main switching into Dharm to hold it off for a little bit, but it also is the spinner to keep off hazards from his side from Fortress and Kobao. Light Screen is so that I can click Light Screen versus Guard, not have to sack off my Starmie, and then I could go out into my Spadef AV Lando to take the hit better. And then like Skull just kind of hits his team in general, plus Rapid Spin too. You know, yeah, like I said, to just keep off hazards. So, and then I have AV Max Spadef Lando T. This is like the third time I'm bringing this. Like I said, it's the best check on my draft to offensive Torn, and it also really helps with Guard too. So I just thought, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna bring this again because this is the only real way I can see of checking these two for the short term. So yeah, Earthquake knockoff, Smackdown U-turn, Smackdown, so that if I do come in on Torn, his main response of swapping out of Torn to avoid a Stone Edge is to go out into Wash, and Smackdown hits both Torn if he stays in, plus it hits Wash to remove his Levitate. So yeah, then Earthquake is like a really free click. So yeah, that's kind of the idea behind the Lando T set. And then Mega Aggron here is the dedicated lead, running a cool set of Seismic Toss, Fire Blast, Endeavor, Stealth Rock. A little bit similar to what I ran in the last game in semifinals. The idea is that I want to get up rocks immediately, right? Like, in order for this Infernape to get the kills I need versus Guard and Torn, I need to have rocks up, right? So it also helps limit Dharm too, and it helps the score guy set that I brought. So I need to get rocks up immediately. Fire Blast is so that I 2-hit KO with the investment of 236. I 2-hit KO max HP. I think it was max HP Kobao, or it's like near it to a KO or something like that. I OHKO Fortress if it's just max HP, max defense. And then Seismic Toss is the general click versus Wash and everything, just to get chip off. And then Endeavor with the Sturdy is so that the idea was if he led Dharm, and just wanted to click Flare Blitz or something, expecting me to just like Mega Evolve and get off the chip, I could live 2 Flare Blitz with this spread from Choice Scarf Dharm, stay in regular form, live 1 Flare Blitz, get on my rocks, and then I could click Endeavor if we were to click Flare Blitz again or swap out. So that's the idea behind Endeavor, plus the Sturdy. Sturdy lets me live like lead Focus Blast too from a couple of these mons. So yeah, that's the idea behind this Aggron set, just get up rocks early. And then lastly, I brought a really cool Gore Guy set. So in Mox, this Gorgeist set was cooking. I was like, I want to bring Gorgeist so I have a spin blocker for his Fortress, but I don't want to be some passive defensive set because it's not really checking anything on his draft other than like Cobal. And I was like, I don't want a passive defensive set. So I thought of this set, Flame Charge, basically being what the Flame Charge Infernape could be. But basically this functions as a breaker, right? I wasn't expecting to win with this. However, in Mox, I did win some games with this. But I was mainly using it as a breaker. So the idea is that if I ever wanted to make sure that my rocks stay up in the mid game, I could go out into this Gorgeist on Fortress, block the spin, and then threaten him with a fire move. So most Fortresses shouldn't stay in versus a potential fire move from Gorgeist. So if he were to go out to Torn, expecting like a Will-O-Wisp, I could click Flame Charge, and then Flame Charge plus Rocks Chip makes it so that Life Orb Phantom Force kills Torn. So that's number one. That was the sequence I was expecting. Seed Bomb hits Wash and Crook really well. Phantom Force Oko's Guard, even if he's a Protect Wish set, goes through Protect. I really wanted Rock Slide on this set to Oko Choice Scarf Darm, because small Gorgeist is base 99 speed, so it outspeeds both Darm and Crook at +1. That's the reason why I ran small for him, is because it outspeeds both those at +1. So if you were to go Darm, I wanted to have Rock Slide to Oko him after Rocks, but I didn't run Rock Slide because I was thinking I could maybe get the chip I need to Oko Darm after Rocks with Phantom Force by having Darm take Rocky Helmet from Starmie. Plus, it's not a guarantee that he brings Darm to begin with. So that was the only real needed thing for Rock Slide. But I really liked Explosion, because what Explosion allowed me to do was, if he went out to Torn expecting to live any sort of hit from Life Orb Gorgeist after Rocks, which it does, like Phantom Force I think did about like 50 to 60%, so he could always live the hit. Explosion made it so I guaranteed just straight Oko Torn, basically allowing this Gorgeist to either get one kill guaranteed versus like a Torn if he went hard out into it, or it could get 2 if he went out to Torn, took the Flame Charge plus Rocks. Then I get a kill with Phantom Force, and then he goes back out in Torn, and I get a kill with Explosion. So that was like the idea, was that this Mon could 100% get at least 1 or 2 kills, which would make a huge difference in this match. So anyways, I've talked enough about this team that I brought. Let's just look at the match, the finals match. Let's see, let's swap the viewpoint. So yeah, he ends up bringing the Darm. He leaves the Crook behind, which I thought was interesting. This is the second time somebody has left Crook versus me, but I guess it makes sense. And he brings Fortress too, so he has the spin. But yeah, I kind of expected a team like this, so I wasn't too bothered. I definitely didn't think Binu was going to come, so yeah. So I just end up leading off with my Aggron here. I seen a lot of Torn leads during my mocks, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stay in, get up my Rocks. I don't expect for his Torn to stay in, because you could die to like a head smash or something like that. So I just click Rocks, goes out to Fortress. I'm like, okay, cool. I could spin block with Gorgeist, but I don't think it really makes a difference. I go out to I just proceed to click Fire Blast, bring him down to Sturdy. And he clicks T-Spike. So T-Spike was really interesting. I guess he didn't expect Drapion to come, which makes sense. But of course, he doesn't have a spin blocker. So if I remove the T-Spike, like he's not really getting much mileage out of it. And then Starmie has Natural Cure. So I was shocked to see T-Spike. I thought he would just click Rocks. But here, I made a misplay, realizing it after the game, that I really should have just clicked Rocks again, because either the Fortress is going to click spin here, or it's going to get up 1 last ditch hazard. But either way, even if it gets up 1 last ditch hazard, I can always spin later with Starmie versus Darm or Cobal, and I really don't want him to remove my Rocks either, right? So yeah, I really should have clicked Rocks here again, because he clicked spin and then I kill him with Seismic Toss. And had I clicked Rocks again, I could have gotten out of this exchange the same way. but with rocks up. So yeah, that was definitely a misplay from me. He goes after Torn, threatens me out with like a Specs Focus Blast. So I go with the Lando. He clicks Heat Wave. The crit reveals that he's Choice Specs, right? I'm like, bro, like look at this. I'm max HP, max BDF Lando, and the crit did 35. So I'm like, all right. I look in the builder. I'm like, all right, he's 100% Specs, because Specs Heat Wave is the only thing that does that much. So before he got the crit, because the Lando health is valuable, but I just use this opportunity to click knockoff because it's free. I get rid of the Rotom lefties, bring it to half because of my own crit, and I click U-turn. I figured he would probably click Pain Split here, but it wasn't a guarantee because I could stay in with Lando too. But yeah, I go out to Aggron. He gets his health back, but at least with this, I now get the opportunity to get up my rocks again. So I get up my rocks. He gets me chipped with Volt Switch, and here, this is where, like, if I already had rocks up versus that Fortress Exchange, I could have just been spamming Endeavor or Seismic Toss and gotten the huge amount of chip that I needed. So like, that was where that misplay really came to factor in. But I clicked rocks on the guard swap in, and here I made another misplay. I should have sacked the Aggron here, but in my mind I'm like, okay, hard out in the guard versus Aggron. He's probably just clicking like Hidden Power, or like, I don't know, maybe he's risking Focus Blast. I didn't calc to see that, yeah, like, you know, Hyper Voice just kills me, so you can just click Hyper Voice. So I go to Lando expecting him to click like Hidden Power, but he ends up just clicking Hyper Voice, and yeah, like, I sack my Lando HP for like no reason. So yeah, I basically am forced to sack one of these two. So I decided it's Aggron, because Aggron's not going to do anything at this point in the match. So yeah, I sack Aggron to guard, and this is kind of a precarious spot, right? Because I need to find the opportunity to click spin with Starmie, but I can only do that versus Cobalt and Darm. So I need to force one of those mons in. So I go to Kieran Black to kind of force in Cobalt so I can spin. I click Shadow Claw, and here I was really debating just like doubling out into Starmie on the expected Cobalt swap in. But it was a little risky, because if he did decide to just sack his guard and he clicked Hyper Voice on my Starmie and he killed me, it would be really bad, because now I lose the chance to click to click spin, and now the T-Spike is up forever, and I would lose the game because Infernape would be spiked. So yeah, I just didn't want to do that. So yeah, I just decided to play it safe. He goes out to Wash. I click Shadow Claw, and it's like a roll. I needed a high roll to 2-hit KO Wash with Shadow Claw, so I didn't think it was worth it. So yeah, I swap out, go out to Lando to stop him from getting too much health back from Pain Split. Here I click Smackdown because I didn't really have a better move to click, and I figured, you know, he may click Volt Switch expecting me to double out. He also may miss Hydro Pump, so, and yeah, I just didn't have a better click, so I just clicked Smackdown. Kills me with Hydro Pump, lands it, and here I'm like, all right, I have to use this opportunity just to get rid of the T-Spike, because if I keep the T-Spike around, this Infernape will not win. Like, I'm 100% gonna lose, like 100%. So even though it's like I'm fort, like I could have gone out to Kieran Black and maybe I could have gone out into Kieran Black, click Shadow Claw. Maybe I could have used the opportunity to click Kieran Black, click Shadow Claw, force in the Cobalt. But I don't know, if he clicked Volt Switch with Cobalt, expecting to swap out, click Volt Switch on my Starmie, then it becomes a really bad spot, because he can then just go out to like Choice Specs Torn, and I really don't have an opportunity to click spin, right? So I just didn't want those sequences to happen where you know, I end up in a spot where I'm not able to spin. So I decided to sack my Starmie health to get off the spin. Goes for a Pain Split, gets its health back, and I go for Light Screen because Light Screen was gonna let me live the Volt Switch, but he ends up critting me, so pretty unfort, because like, yeah, I lost my Starmie for the spin. But here I'm like, okay, Light Screen up, T-Spike gone, rocks up. This is where Infernape is gonna win, right? It's even great too, because once this Wash comes back in and takes rocks, it's in range of +2 flamethrower should I get the blaze range. So I'm like, okay, cool. I don't even have to risk focus blast. So I go out to Infernate behind light screen, use this opportunity to get up my plot, because I mean if he clicked close combat, he was gonna put me in range of blaze anyway. So yeah, click nasty plot, right? Goes out to Torn, both switches into Torn. I'm like, all right, bet. He specs a specs Torn to me should have air slash. I'm like, all right, cool. Click air slash. I'm gonna get my Endure Salic, and we're about to win the game right here. Literally don't even have to click focus blast, because blaze range +2 flamethrower, Oko's Darm, Oko's guard, everything. I win. Bro clicks hurricane on my Endure. Bro misses the hurricane, and I'm like, dude, I like, that was worst case scenario, right? I knew it could happen, which is why I was a little bit like worried about the Endure hurricane interaction, because of course if he misses, it's really bad. But of course it, you know, it's 70% accurate. He should be landing most of the time. But yeah, I miss, and this would 100% brought me down into blaze range and Salic range, because he was specs. So even behind light screen, he still was gonna Oko me. So yeah, so he ends up missing, which makes the Endure not work. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna have to try and set this up again, but it's gonna be difficult because he knows what my set is. So I go out to Karen Black, knowing I lived the hurricane behind screen. So the Star Me screen coming through, I force out the Torn, and I think I clicked Fusion Bolt, right? Yeah, I clicked Fusion Bolt. Here I'm like, you know, the Karen Black is 9%. It's not gonna come in again to like revenge kill anything. So I'm just gonna sack, try and see if I can set up this Infernape again. I confuse myself, which is unfortunate. He gets up rocks on my Oko, which is fine. I click nasty plot with Infernape because this is my only hope, right? Is that he chokes and clicks close combat, or it gives me my plot, gives me my Salic. So he clicks both switch, goes out to Darm. I'm like, all right, well, he knows I'm Endure Salat, so he shouldn't click a move that kills me or brings me down to Salat range. But I have no choice, right? Like I have no choice. I have to click Endure, right? Because if I don't click Endure and he click Flare Blitz, I've thrown the game. Like I that was my one opportunity, right? So I just click Endure because I have no other choice. He clicks U-turn, good play, and he goes out to Torn. And I'm like, all right, well, at this point, you know, with my Gory Guy set, I don't know how to speed Torn. It could win, you know, it could win, but I'm not gonna get the chance to flame charge unless he misses hurricane. So I'm like, it's gonna come down to just luck, you know. I'm gonna have to land Endure for the second time, which I think is a 50-50 chance. And if I don't do that, then I'm going to have to try and dodge a hurricane, click flame charge, and then try and win with Gorgeist. So that's basically what it came down to. So I click Endure again, I get the Endure, he lands hurricane, and he doesn't confuse me. Thank God. Like the plot must have wanted me to win. Oh God, the plot must have wanted me to win, because if he had missed hurricane again, oh my God, if I didn't get Endure again, man. So yeah, I get all the boosts I need, kill the Torn with flamethrower, and yeah, I don't even have to risk the focus blast versus wash because flamethrower kills. So I kill the wash, you know, kill the guard from full, Infernape, man, kill the Cobal, and then I kill this Darm too. So thank God, you know, the Kane miss the first time didn't just ruin the game, because it almost did. But luck was on my side. I got that second Endure. Yeah. And that's our second Oras Tour dub. 2 times in a row. I don't think any person has won a Smogon Tour twice in a row. Like years back to back. I don't think it's ever been done. Really, it's like maybe you have 1 or 2 people in history who have won a tournament back to back. Like a high stakes tournament. So yeah, I have done really something that's I don't know if it'll ever be repeated again, of winning a tour back to back. But this win meant a lot to me, right? Because I didn't used to play Oras. I was really nervous about playing it back in the day because I thought that's where all the big dogs played. And yeah, I just wasn't an Oras guy. I used to play Ultra Sun and Moon because that was the tier I was most comfortable with. But through my years of being in team tours, for my years of being on teams, seeing the elite play Oras, witnessing their team building, I came to learn more about the tier myself. And then things like DPL gave me the opportunity to play Oras. TDT gave me the opportunity to play Oras at a high level, get my feet wet. And yeah, now it's culminated into me probably being one of the best Oras players of all time. I just got to say it. I think 2 Oras tour wins lets me say that. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Probably a pretty long video, probably just as long as the other one, but yeah, crazy run. Happy to win it again with Kieran Black too. Try out different mons as well, like Sylveon and Aggron, and yeah, I had a lot of fun. So thank you all for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one, but yeah.